Oh hey, it's Lost Kingdoms. It's a game I'm gonna play, and a game that nobody's heard of, which is super unfortunate because I think, extremely underrated. It was on the cover of Nintendo Power. Damn it. We're not gonna change the name because having a princess with a male name is just little odd. Um, so there's gonna be some exposition here. I'm not gonna read it. Go ahead and read it. It's uh, relatively important, but you're a silent protagonist. You don't do much. You're sent out on a lot of stuff. Uh, Pretty much gonna do like one stage per video, except for this one, since the first level, technically the first level, is exceptionally short. It doesn't even really count as a tutorial because the next stage is a tutorial. Um, and yeah, I mean, you'll see what the game's about. It's basically a sort of action RPG kind of game, um, with a twist. Instead of you know fighting monsters, leveling up, having a party, and all that jazz, you're on your own. You're the only person, quote unquote, in your party. Um, and in order to fight, uh, you you're a frail little princess. You don't fight, although you get hit by stuff, and I mean, for a princess, she can take a hit. Uh, but the way that you fight is by summoning cards, monsters from cards, a la, I don't know, I guess Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't really want to compare it to that. I haven't played the game, but I guess it's similar to Baten Kaitos. Um, but again, I haven't played it, so I wouldn't know. So yeah, this is the first stage, and it's like I said, there's like no point to it. The camera controls kind of suck in the first game, but they're manageable. So we're going to go into the treasury throne room kind of thing, which for some reason is the only other room in this castle. Um, it would have been nice if they at least had put doors along the hallway that you're walking along to make it seem like your castle is more than a treasury room, a throne room, and a hallway. So this is kind of what it introduces you to. The fog has reached your castle gates. It's been wreaking havoc. Anyone that goes in doesn't come out. And you find out the reason is because there's monsters coming out of the fog. And then this obviously tells you, because of the runestone that is now on her back, you can use these magical mystical cards to, summon creatures to fight for you. And the cutscene just straight up kills one of them. That's basically telling you how to play, but we really don't care. I'll describe it more. There's 3 different types of cards. You can see the one I'm using is basically a weapon, and a creature comes out from you, same as this one. This is just a long-range one. The little pink things on the ground are what are used to fuel your summoning. If you don't have enough gems, then you can still summon, just at the cost of some health, which is never a good thing. I don't believe in this game you can actually die from it, though. I think you will always stay at 1 HP, but even then, staying at 1 HP is never good. I skipped over all that shit. I'm sorry. I haven't done this in so long. Basically, that is Gerd, and I think she's like an advisor to your father, the king, or at the very least, she is going to be helping you, and she's advising you, and she's going to be your friend and whatnot. At the end of every level, depending on your rank, you can pick cards. Unfortunately, you cannot replay levels. I think it's one of the few flaws that this game... Well, no, not one of the few flaws. This game has a couple flaws that are corrected in the sequel, but a big flaw is you cannot replay levels once you beat them. which is unfortunate, but there are ways of getting around it if you feel like you're locked out of a level, like you're not prepared for it. You can still go into the level, kill monsters, get experience, and then quit out, and you'll retain it. So yeah, the black fog is everywhere, and we are going to save the world. You have a deck, you can only have 30. So here's the, before we do that, we actually need to put out our new cards, because they don't go in automatically. Alright, planes of roll. So you see the clear conditions, a brief little summary, and then the symbols above it are basically the elements of the monsters that you will encounter. The game's going to explain all this, but there are 3 types of cards, and there are 5 elements of cards. So there's Gird, Guardians of Runestone, cards of power, only chance to defeat evil. So we're teaming up with her, and she's gonna teach us how to play. This area is entirely scripted. All the battles are scripted. You get random encounters later, but as of right now, everything is when the game wants it to happen. So there's a card assigned to each of the 4 buttons. If you hold R when you use it, then it will discard the card and allow you to draw a new one. This is helpful for, if your hand sucks or, it doesn't necessarily help you in that situation. The downside for this, I forget, is right. Jagora's not friendly. Okay, I think I want to go this way first. The problem with that is that once you discard a card, you cannot get it back in that same battle. Meaning you do need to be kind of careful about what you decide to discard. Like, I'm discarding a lot right now because none of this shit is helping me. But, if I discard all of them, I get to 0, then I only have the 4 cards I have in my hand, and I can potentially completely screw myself. If you press... I could be wrong about this. I think if you press Z and then summon a card, it will power it up. I'm pretty sure that's in this game, but I could be wrong. There's also a way, if you hold down the L button, I think it's the L button, when you throw a card, instead of summoning the card, you will throw it at an enemy. It'll deal like a flat 2 or 3 damage and completely expend the card. The benefit to this, though, is that if it deals the killing blow, then you get that monster on a card, just outright. I don't think it works on bosses. I haven't tested it in a very long time. But, you can just straight up get them. So now she's talking about attributes, which I'll explain in a moment. So there's 3 card types. There are independent, there's weapon, there's summons. So the Dragon Knight I'm about to use, it has a sword. It's on the X button. That is a weapon card. Actually, I'm not going to use it yet. So what those do is, you just summon a monster out from your position, and it just acts that way. The new card I just got, as well as the Lycanthrope at the top, is a summon card. It will take you out of the game, summon something in your place. It will do its attack or its action, whatever it's supposed to do, and then it will completely expend the card. By the way, you can destroy obstacles while you're fighting, and sometimes you get neat stuff for it. Summons, you summon it, it does its thing, and then the card is completely spent. Deck points. This will heal you, allow you to put cards into your deck. Summons are one-time use. Once you use it, the card is expended. You saw some weapon cards have different numbers of uses. The Dragon Knight is super powerful. It only gets 2 uses. Lizardman and the Dark Raven get, I think, 3 uses each, maybe 4. And then the last one is, we haven't used, no, we did use one. We used the what was it? Not the Mandragora, the Mantrap. Those are independents. They do what they sound like. They walk independent of you. They will attack anything in front of them. And they basically kind of act like the AI, like those enemies. They can be helpful, but sometimes they're kind of shit. They constantly lose HP, and they lose more HP when they are hit. So they're basically on a timer, and every time they get hit, the timer goes down. Then you have the 5 element types. There's wood, water, fire, earth, and neutral. And there's a rock, paper, scissor effect. So wood beats earth, earth beats water, water beats fire, and fire beats wood. Nothing beats neutral, but neutral's not strong against anything either. There aren't a lot of neutral cards. Usually they're pretty strong. They are also typically, a lot of them are bosses that you fight later on in the game. I mean, basically that's it. This is going to be our last fight before we actually... Really? That's such a shitty spawn. Yeah, this is going to be our last fight before we do the end of stage boss. The first stage goes by pretty damn quickly. I need some better cards. Why are all the Birdmen together? So you can see all my cards are grayed out right now, which basically means I cannot... Shit. I don't have the points to summon them right now. If I do, I'll lose health, which is never fun. And my man Trap is being stupid over there. I don't want to spend any more cards, so they need to kill each other. This is one of the problems, is that the AI for your cards isn't very smart sometimes. And I think that just fucked me, so we're just gonna kill it. Yeah. So we're starting off pretty easy. Also, you use a card, it gets experience. If it gets a killing blow, it gets the most experience. Just by being used, though, you get something. And now we're going to do a boss. So the experience will let you do 2 things for the card. You can copy it when you get enough experience, which just gives you 1 more of that card, or you can transform it. You lose the card and you get something else. Some transformations are pretty crap, and you don't really want to do it. Other transformations, especially later, are super nice. It's not random. You do get to choose what you want. Alright, so we're going to use a summon. This is basically what a summon does. Again, removes you from the game for the summoning. Then during the action, everything's gone back to normal. And then you come back. Sometimes it can be really bad because you can get hit. And it kind of sucks. But other times it can be pretty helpful. So this guy's Earth, so we're going to try and get Mantrap out. Then we're going to summon Birdman, who's also a wood summon. It's a little hard to tell what element things are. Basically, you have to tell from the border. Yeah, he should be able to get the killing blow. Yeah, and that's it. That's the first battle. I know I've been rambling this entire time, and I apologize for that. But it's a lot better than, reading through all of the tutorial dialogue that they're telling you, which just wears on you a little bit. Fun little note, that diamond jewel thing at the top of the list that basically tells you how many gem points you collected. It means nothing. In this game, gems do absolutely nothing outside of battle. In the second game, they act as a currency, but in this game, that number is completely meaningless, and I actually don't really know why it's there. It's a little clear, depending on how many monsters you defeat, how many cards you use, and how much damage you take, you get a rating from 1 to 5 stars. I believe 5 stars you get to pick 3. 3 or 4 you get to pick 2 cards, and then a 1 or 2 star rank you get 1 card. This is the other thing that bothers me a little bit is, did we get it? We didn't, so it doesn't matter. We got 2 hobgoblins and a mandragora. Mandragoras are neat. They're independents, but they don't move. They act as traps. If anything approaches it within a certain vicinity, it will basically, detonate. It will kill itself, and it will also deal damage to anything around it. We'll just do this real quick. This is the apothecary. You can buy cards, sell cards, transform cards, copy cards, and you can also talk to Gerd. Gerd will, depending where you are in the story, she will give you side missions. Some of them are pretty fun. You may as well just do all of them. Some of them are fun, some not as fun, and some can be a little difficult. And they're telling you only a rune bearer, Runestone Bearer can stop the black fog. I actually don't really know why. They never show you any normal humans, like any knights from your kingdom fighting. So I don't know if it's just your armies are shit and they just don't know how to fight, or they see monsters and they freeze up, which does happen at one point in the game. Or if monsters are simply unaffected, which I think would be a little odd. Okay, just repeating that shit. So you can buy cards, but really, I don't think there's a point. Primarily because the only way to get gold is to sell your cards, and you really shouldn't be selling cards, I think. You can transform cards, we can't transform any yet. You can copy cards, we can't copy any yet. That's basically going to be it for this first level, and then we're going to go to Blasoon and introduce something else in this game, which especially sucks when you remember that you can't go back to other levels after you beat them. You can once you beat the game. Once you beat the final boss, everything opens up again. But this stage introduces collectibles. And getting collectibles will get you new cards, and some of them are really, really good. And we're going to try and do all those. So, thanks for watching. I know this went by kind of fast. I've been talking nonstop, which I'm not used to, and may be awful. I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys keep coming back to watch, and I will see you guys in the next episode.